Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing specifically the Log4Shell exploit that's happened over this weekend. I will note I'm going to be somewhat vague in how I do it because I will be discussing it, describing it, and possible fixes that have been done. But I'm going to be vague because number one, a full fix hasn't necessarily been announced. It's not completely secure, it's not guaranteed, and we're going to have to wait upwards of a month or two before we know for a fact that's fixed. But to start, let's discuss how code works in Mojang and in general. This exploit is something that could happen to any programming language at any time, and I think it's beneficial for y'all to understand how this really works. So all of your programs are stored in your hard drive, usually on a if you're running Windows, it's usually stored on like users or program files or something similar to that. Program files x86. So this is where it's stored. And then your CPU makes a call and says, yo, I want to run minecraft.exe, and it makes a call to that, and then it pulls the instructions to run Minecraft, and then it processes whatever it needs to, sends it to what other additional processing that needs to happen, whether it be a NIC card because you want to connect to Google, or a GPU because you want some graphics to show up on your monitor. And then that goes to your peripherals, and you can see it on your screen. And as you can see, I'm such a good code programmer. I made a high fidelity version of Minecraft that just sits in this 2x3 block area. How is this working? So right here, you might have Minecraft's Java files. So this is all the code related to Minecraft. This is probably their main program, but there's gonna be other files related to it. And that's gonna look something like this, right? Various code statements, much larger, obviously. if it's one line of code, they have done miraculously. But normally, if there's a solution that's been done 1,000 times, someone will make a package for it because programmers don't want to have to recode the same thing several times. Some of the most common ones are in your like system libraries. So this might be how to output to the command line, how to bring up a graphic, something like that. Others are in additional packages such as Apache. This is where things go wrong in this circumstance. This is what went wrong, is there's something wrong with this guy. So all that gets compiled into this. This gets compiled into something called bytecode. This is specific to Java right now. And then for Java, it gets sent into the Java Virtual Machine, JVM. And finally, that gets translated into machine code where your computer can run it. For other languages, it might have other steps. Some just directly compile to the machine code. Some translate into a language called Seal. This is an attempt by Microsoft to make a universal language that can work on any CPU easily. And a lot of even Apple is trying to move towards this, Android, because it's just easier. Now, what the Log4Shell exploit does is it basically allows for someone to take and bypass your computer security, connect into your CPU and hard drive, and say, yo, I want to run this specific program for this time. It could be completely innocent. Someone brings up a Rickroll or something. Or it could be something malevolent, like installing not a hack.exe. And so you got to be very careful with what you let into your computer. Log4Shell caused this problem. It was reported to Apache. I don't know if it was reported before or after it was officially announced on Twitter, but it has been announced on Twitter. Other companies are moving the updates out. To my knowledge, Apache has identified one quick and dirty solution to this, but there are additional solutions that need to occur. So what exactly is this error? So this particular exploit is called the Log4Shell. It was classified by the security firm Lunasec, and it essentially just allows the users to download external files and allows them to run code remotely. So they can do this little loop right here without you giving them permission. Again, the fixes have been found, but it does need to be further researched. I'm checking my sources frequently to see if there's been any new updates. Obviously, there's probably not going to be anything over this weekend as a lot of software engineers are out of town or just relaxing. Plus, it's over Christmas, so some people are going on vacation. Additional fixes may be implemented, and I would strongly advise that you go ahead and join Discords for Forge, Fabric, anything that you're working with. I would also say that you should follow any guidance that Minecraft provides, as well as Steam and any other company that has identified that they are vulnerable to this particular attack. And also be very aware of what you're doing online. a lot of online services use legacy software, which might mean that they are not able to fix this. Legacy software, personally, as a software developer, is the bane of my existence. And let me be real. Legacy software is good sometimes. It runs perfectly. It does great things. And sometimes projects die and nobody picks it up, and they just don't change. But my stance on legacy software is that you should try to avoid using it at all. I work with the government. If you want to talk about legacy software, I'm telling you, there's code older than anybody watching this video. I guarantee it. That is being run on government machines to this day. And sometimes legacy software provides excellent security because you get like 2 people on the entire planet who understand it. And sometimes it's not that great, because what happens is you'll get these white hat hackers, like the person who identified this exploit. They'll identify a problem, they'll report it to whoever's responsible to solve the problem, and then that guy will send it to maybe security firms and stuff to make sure that it's been covered and all that. And now they announce it to the world, telling everybody, yo, you gotta update ASAP. There's been a 0 day. A 0 day is reference to how many days you have to fix the problem. And that cycle kind of is how it's supposed to go. But sometimes things fail. Sometimes there is something right beside that exploit that nobody noticed, and it just gets through. So I would again advise, be safe, be wise, get things like VPNs and stuff. It's not really going to help with this one, but it does add an extra layer of protection. Get password managers, make sure everything stays secure. And if you guys do have any questions as far as on the technical end, you can reply to me on the comments. I would also suggest just going and looking at Twitter right now on the topic. It hasn't gotten violent yet, but I would still advise, pay close attention, be careful, be wise. But without further ado, this is Negative Like, signing out, and God bless y'all.